I walked around to the back where the air conditioning units were and all, and I looked up at the sky, and I spoke to God. I was pretty angry. I did some yelling, and pretty much I never spoke to him again for another 20 years.
Oh my goodness. So you told God, you're just angry at God, took it out. A lot of people do that, and so for 20 years you didn't talk to God then. You just said
for 20 years I didn't talk to God, and for 20 years my life continuously started getting worse.
Oh, got worse. Right. And
that's the way the devil does it.
Yeah. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy. I want to ask you one other thing. You was telling us that one day I may be going back here a little bit, but you came home one day and there was really nobody there left but you. Is that right? Your dad was dead, your mother was dead, and your sister went off and she was gone, and you actually just left to go on your own in a sense, were you not?
Right. I was pretty much alone, and I got to the point to where I was waking up in the mornings and saying I hated my life.
Yeah, and we know your wonderful wife, Sherry.
Well, at the time we weren't married.
You weren't married, right?
And I had turned so horrible at that time that she couldn't take me anymore, and she had left me also. So I was pretty much alone.
So you lost about everything, and then I know you lost your home there in Key West.
My job.
Your job and everything you had was gone. Now, I want you to tell us about one thing here for this setting that you said on Fridays when you got off work, you had a little ritual you went through. And you went to the bar, like I'm sure there's people watching here now that's maybe in a bar, or maybe going to the bar. What did you do every Friday when you got off work?
Well, it was actually every day of the week.
Every day of the week. Well, tell us what you did every day of the week.
I would stop in on the way home and go straight to the bar, and I would drink all night, and then get up in the morning, say I hated my life, and go back to work.
Well, but you took some type of pills.
I went to see doctors, and the doctors told me I was major depressive, which I was, and they prescribed Prozac and Xanax.
And how did you take that?
So at that time, the frame of mind I was in, I would go to the bar and I would take my pills whenever I felt like it, and washed it down with my Bacardi and Coke.
And then shots of
tequila, whatever else I was drinking, and washed it down with beer. Again, I was drinking to end my life. I didn't really care about myself then.
Yeah. But then you got to a place that I know you've told us we don't have time to do everything. He has a tremendous testimony. He would be great to come to your church or to speak to you. He's been there in tremendous change. But you got to a place where
you went to the bottom.
Sometimes you have to get to the bottom to get back up. So you went as far as a human being just about to go, right?
Yes. I feel like I've been to the bottom quite a few times before, but this time,
you went.
There was a difference.
Yeah, this time you went for the last time.
And what happened?
This time, I felt like God had come to me, and I started to have some nightmares at night. I was starting to feel convicted of my sins. I started praying to the Lord. I started having some strange dreams. These dreams went on to say that I was going to die in 8 days, and I would curse God and die.
Yeah, curse God and die.
For 7 days, I had these nightmares, and on the 8th day, I told my wife, I said,
told Sherry.
Told my wife Sherry, I said, honey, I said, I need to leave here tonight. I can't be here tonight. So my wife took me in the car, and we went down Blanding Boulevard. I wasn't sure where I was going that time. My wife thought maybe I was going to the hospital because I was pretty ill. But I started passing churches, and I started looking at churches.
And you
And
found a particular church and she pulled you in there.
well, actually, at one time we pulled into this one church, and I looked around, and I felt like I said, "No, not here."
Uh-huh. Okay.
I just felt that what I had to say, I needed to find a special person that was
God had someone.
for me.
Okay.
Somebody that knew God well,
Right.
and somebody that would understand my problem. And as I passed by this particular church, I was drawn to it. I seen this name, New Beginning, and I thought to myself, I need a new beginning. I seen
Yeah.
these little hands on the walls praying to Jesus, and I told my wife, pull in. I want to pray on those grounds. She's never heard me say this before in my life. And as I pulled into the church, I got out on church grounds. Now this was 9:30 on a Monday night, and there was nobody there. The church was in darkness.
Right.
I got out, and as I started to pray, I looked over and I seen a light on in the office.
They took you in and prayed for you. Now, our time is going to be limited, so they worked with you and so forth. But what did God deliver you from?
In one day,
Besides yourself.
in one day,
In one day.
in that one,
Think of that. In one day, God delivered you
one
from
day,
what?
when I realized that these things were keeping me from hearing from the Lord, I promised God that I would no longer take any substance or anything that would keep me from hearing from Him.
Uh-huh.
And I went to the garbage can there, and I threw away my Xanax. I threw away some other drugs that I had. I decided to throw away my cigarettes and put down the alcohol that day. Now that's been going on 3 years now.
All right. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, it's great.
3 years. So
3 years.
So in one day,
And one day,
God met. The Lord found you.
But I want to say too,
Okay.
is I didn't do this on my own.
No.
No.
Because I have tried before to quit everything. This time it was a promise to God, and God took my temptations away. I've never had the desire, well, not even one time, to drink.
Praise
Man,
God.
that's
Praise
great.
God.
I'm completely delivered from all of that, and I thank God for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a whole new life.
You can
I'm
tell.
grateful.
Yeah, you can tell that God's done something for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Because
I
he
know.
tells everybody.
Yeah.
There's
He
no
tells
doubt.
everybody.
He tells everybody. He pulls people off this. When he sees someone on the side of the road, he pulls off and tells them, don't he?
I wake up every morning now and I say, thank you, Lord. Thank you for this day. I'm happy for my
Woo!
life, and
Yes.
I love my life.
Yeah, amen. Love your life. You have to love yourself, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
folks, when you look in the mirror, you may not like what your hair looks like or
your
you
body, or
your
anything
body,
else.
but you have to love yourself. You cannot love someone else, and you can't love God if you don't love,
Love
yourself.
yourself.
Isn't that right?
That's right.
You can't love your wife, you can't love your husband, you can't love your children. In fact, I want you to know that if you have a mother or a dad or a brother or a sister, any relative that you have not spoken to, and maybe there's been something in the past still eating at you from 20, 30 years ago, or maybe just a year ago or yesterday, why don't you just get on the phone and call them up and say, you know what, I miss you in my life. You should do that, you know. Now, I realize that there's people, Danny, that's out here watching us that have problems with drugs.